I'm Chef Scardino. Welcome to GoGarrettCounty.com. If you're watching this video, you may have already purchased our first Harvest Hub meal box, which is going to be an egg frittata with mushrooms, spinach, feta cheese, roasted potatoes, mixed greens, and a vinaigrette. I know what you're thinking. This recipe sounds a little overwhelming, but myself and my students are going to walk you through the entire process today. Before we get started, let's go over a few things. First, all Harvest Hub meal boxes can be purchased with SNAP benefits. You may be asking, where can I purchase these meal boxes? All the information you need is at GarrettCountyFood.com. Are the ingredients local? You bet. These are the following farms that are helping us: Backbone Farms, Honeymoon Farms, Ma and Pa's Country Store. A big thank you to them all. Remember, common sense is key. The recipes are just guidelines. Use your best judgment when you're cooking. And lastly, if you have additional ingredients in your home at your disposal, by all means use them. It's your food. Speaking of food, let's get started. Included in your box is a detailed recipe card, but remember, we're still here to walk you through it. Okay, this is pretty simple, so just follow along. First, you just want to crack your eggs into a bowl, and then after that, you're going to add your milk or water. We like to stir it with a fork. We just think it makes it a little bit easier than a whisk, and you want to incorporate some air into it so it's all homogeneous. And next, you're going to cut your potatoes into the same size pieces, and then you're going to put them in cold water, bring them to a boil, and let them simmer. And then after about 5 minutes, they should be fork tender, and then you want to set them aside. So after we've set our potatoes aside, we're going to add some oil and butter and incorporate that into the potatoes and season them with a little bit of salt and pepper or your favorite seasoning. Now we put them into a medium-high pan with a little bit more oil until they get brown and crispy on the outside. So now we're going to add oil to our pan here for our mushrooms and spinach. So we're going to add our mushrooms first. Just let them kind of sit, and after about a minute or two they should start browning, and then you're going to add your spinach, stir it around, and then you're going to hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and you are good to go. So now that your vegetables have cooked down, we're going to add our egg, and it's a good idea to add it fairly slowly at one time so all that egg can get around all of those ingredients that you just cooked. And once you've added all your egg, then you want to take a spatula and go around the edges here just to let it loosen up a little bit. And then we're going to add our cheese, and then it's going to go directly into a 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes. Thank you. Okay, now that we have our frittata in the oven, while it's baking, we're going to work on our salad dressing. So, and by no means do you have to use this dressing for your greens. Use whatever dressing you like the best. We're just going to show you this simple vinaigrette. We're not even really going to measure it. So, but we do. It is in your recipe, the exact proportions. But this is like a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and this is a teaspoon of Greek seasoning. And then we're going to add some vinegar. The ratio for a vinaigrette, some people say 4 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. I almost like to go half and half with the oil and vinegar. It depends on how strong the vinegar is and how strong your olive oil is. So we're going to throw some of this in here and let this fill up. People say you should always mix your seasoning and your vinegar first and then add your oil. And this is going to be kind of a broken vinaigrette, so it's not. It'll emulsify a little bit. So now we're just going to add our olive oil. Right here. And then we are going to put the lid on just like so. Cap. Shake it up, and we're done. Let's go check on that frittata. Too thick in there. I'll pull it out. So now that Noah and Andrew got this out of the oven, how are we going to get this out of this pan? And remember, this pan is hot because we put it in the oven. This is a silicone handle, so it can go in the oven, but always be mindful it's hot. You can do several different things. Sometimes we take a plate and invert it and flip it over. I think that's a little iffy. This is such a nice pan with such a good non-stick surface. I think the best thing to do is just bring it over to a cutting board and just slide it out, just like that. That seems the easiest way to do it. So we have all our ingredients together now. We kept our potatoes warm in the oven. We're gonna cut into this frittata and see how it looks. And you can see that this is definitely enough for 4 people. And you could eat this the next day and it would still be great. We're gonna put 2 nice pieces on here, just like this. And then we're gonna add some of our potatoes. And remember, the potatoes can be done like we showed you in the pan. You can do them in your air fryer or you can do them in the oven as well. So we're gonna put these on here. And then we're gonna just take the vinaigrette we made. Use whatever dressing you would like. We're just gonna lightly dress this. This is too small, so I'm just gonna take this off. Sprinkle that on there. And there you have it. Thanks for checking out GoGarrettCounty.com.